Hello, and welcome to another tale from the heart of the Jackals. I am your host, Lothran. I invite each of you to settle in, get comfortable, grab a snack, and listen while I relate to you this tale, a sound from somewhere. He scraped the stone against the already razor-sharp blade as he sat and thought about this predicament. You can't ask me to go back there. I'm not asking, I'm telling. Fisk flipped his sword over to care for the other edge, humming as he went back to his steady work. Well, I'm not going back over there, Quint replied, gesturing with one hand in an exaggerated manner toward the location in question. It's just a gurgle from an outhouse, Fisk responded, sounding more than a little exasperated. So you admit you hear it now? Quint shot back at his superior. I never said I didn't. Fisk put his sword aside, trying desperately not to yell. This was his first time in command of anything, and he didn't want to draw too much attention his way. I just want you to do your job and muck it out. Go back and clean it. How am I supposed to do that with that noise? You do it like everybody else does it. You secure the lid, tip the frame over, onto its side, lower the bucket onto the platform, then use one of the many long-handled scoops and a bucket at a time, haul out the waste, load it into a barrow, and dump it by the compost site near the hedgerows. But the sound, Quint tried to explain. Most people, myself included, worry about the smell. It's awful. How do I know? I performed the task near 1,000 times, and 100 other thankless duties. But I've moved up from the lowest rung on the ladder. That's you now. That's just the way it is. But the sound, it's not natural, Quint went on as he shimmied ever so slightly further away from the outhouse and the task destined for him. I don't care, Quint. It's not my job to care about the gurgling sound of methane escaping from a massive pile of shit. It's my job to tell you to clean it up while I sharpen this fuck-off large pile of swords for inspection. I happen to like this job over that one, and I intend to keep it. Quint almost looked for a second like he was about to object. No! No! Just no! Shut up! I don't care! No one does! Shut up! Go back to work! We're done with this conversation. Gents, one of the misers walked briskly by them toward the outhouse. Quint was about to clean that, Fisk called out to the man as he wobbled along on his brisk pace. He'll have to wait till I'm finished with it, the old man called back in a half-turn without stopping on the well-worn trail to the singular small hut. There you go. This is what you get for waiting. No one's been in there for a couple of days, but now you're going to deal with a fresh smell, and it's so much worse, let me tell you. The door swung open with an ominous creak and a single grunt as the old man tugged it shut with a hurried slam. Quint shuddered against the distant sound of a splattering gurgle echoing across the open space between the pair of them and that tiny structure. If you had listened to me... Fisk stood up slowly, his hand picking up the sharpest pair of swords as he thrust one into Quint's free hand. He could not say why he knew to do this, just that he felt the oddest pattern of notes collected into the strangest song ripple across the back of his mind. Sound the alarm, Fisk commanded of Quint. Sound the fucking alarm! Quint was about to question his old friend when a scream erupted from the outhouse, half a whining gasp, part wheezing nonsense, and a final part desperate plea. The sound was unmistakably foreign. Quint found himself running back up the slight hill to the bell and ringing it before he even realized what was happening. What do we do? Quint asked as he returned back to Fisk's side. We wait, Fisk replied as another much louder scream of purest malign suffering ripped across the pale, darkening sky. Are you sure? Quint asked with more than a little stutter to his words. Very, Fisk kept his reply brief. From what he felt, the song of it, organized and dangerous. There was no hope for the man in that building. What are you standing around for? What was the alarm raised about? An elder strode powerfully into view, already wearing most of his well-worn hide armor. Fisk pointed very simply. The elder looked gruff, about to chastise a student, but then he realized who he was talking to and stuffed the words back in his maw. Several others arrived, each in various states of dress. Some hefted their own weapons, others picked up fresh ones from the pile. Sharp or not, anything was better than nothing. Another blood-curdling scream erupted from the outhouse, the door slamming open and hanging there with a slow creak as it tilted in the breeze. A form stumbled forth. Fisk swallowed a bit of bile at the sight. The old man falling to his knees, his clothes and armor gone, most of his skin with it, a tired, haggard creature oozing blood from a dozen places, struggling for air as it sought some purchase on the loose soil, on its hands and knees, slowly crying in agony. An arrow struck him in the face, ending his miserable existence. Fisk shot as much of a glance as he dared towards his father, knocking another arrow into the bow. Let that be a lesson, boy. If I'm ever in so horrendous a shape, put me out of my misery just as easily. No one spoke. The outhouse shook. It rumbled as something moved within it. It quaked and trembled as something much larger than it shifted and unfurled from its confines. The wood slowly separated under the strain, ripping apart at the seams. More warriors arrived as they all prepared themselves for whatever it was that was about to occur. Fisk wondered if any of them would live beyond the next few moments. And so concludes tonight's tale from the heart of the Jackals. I hope you enjoyed A Sound from Somewhere. As always, I've been your pleased host, Lothran, and I implore each and every one of you to stay safe out there